Hey YouTube, it's Magician34, and I have a deck that I've been playing with. This is still kind of a beta version of the deck, but it's a lot of fun. It's one of those either win big or get smashed kind of decks. Well, really you don't get smashed. You always kind of threaten and scare your opponent. It's just so much fun, and it's never really been done that I'm aware of in this way. So let's just get to it. This is a Koa'ki Meiru OTK. Yeah, I know. Sounds crazy already, right? Basically, a lot of the core of the actual OTK in the deck is this guy, Koa'ki Meiru Urnight. He just makes an extra 4-star guy appear on the field as long as you got that core in your hand. And he's already 2,000 by himself. And he needs a Beast Warrior maintenance cost. And speaking of great Beast Warriors, we're also running 3 of the Crusader. He's the one who, when he kills somebody in battle, he gets a Koa'ki Meiru guy from your grave to your hand. 1900 makes him a small guy. Crazy, huh? Okay, and we're also running 3 of this thing, Koa'ki Meiru Bergzok. He doesn't look like much. I didn't think much of him when I first saw him, to be honest. But having played him and experimented with him, geez, this guy's pretty insane. He can pound out over half your opponent's life points in a single shot. It's staggering how good he is, especially if you pump his attack a little bit with Core Overclock. This guy's amazing. He's a great target for Urnight. Usually when I'm trying to OTK, it's going to be Urnight, search my deck for Bergzok, pitch the core to Core Overclock, and I'm going to swing for 3,500 3 times. Bergzok kill, Bergzok direct, and then Urnight. And that's game. So yeah, Bergzok is important for this deck. We're also running 2 copies of Boulder so that we can search for either the core or the Urnight or whatever it is we happen to need. And speaking of large things that also interfere with opponents, Thunder King Ryo, times 3. He's easy enough to get now, it shouldn't be hard for you to pick him up. We're running 2 copies of Koa'ki Meiru Rooklord. It's a warrior, so you can use it to pay for the maintenance cost on Bergzok if you need to. And also he's basically a pumped up version of Celestia, because you can make him 1 tribute off of a Koa'ki Meiru, rather than having to pay the 2 tributes. And by removing a Koa'ki Meiru card in your grave from the game, he blows up 2 cards your opponent controls. 2,800 points Celestia. I think that speaks for itself. We are just going to run 1 copy of Koa'ki Meiru Volafar, because you can special him from the grave via Call or Monster Reborn. He's 3,000 points, and he can't be destroyed by traps, which means he can't be bottomless, torrential, Icarus attacked, and so on. And he also has that 3,000 points and trample, that is to say, he pierces, he goes through your opponent's defense. So if you got battle fated on previous turn, this guy's useful. He runs over Ryko, all kinds of cool stuff you can do with this guy. His maintenance cost is horrifically bad, but... Okay, the last 2 slots, I'm actually including 2 different cards. Basically, in this slot, I say you either go with 2 Warwolf or 2 Beast King Barbaros. It's your call on how you want to spin the deck. I have been running 2 Barbaros, but Barbaros more often than not in this deck is just a 1900 vanilla. So it occurred to me that Warwolf really kind of is better. He's just basically a Beast Warrior to pay maintenance costs, and he's just another beat stick. So really, you can go with Barbaros, or if you want to modify the deck to add Book of Moon, Barbaros is an interesting way to go. But really, I think Warwolf, even though he's a normal monster, is still the way to go. And, no pun intended, the core of the deck is Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru. This makes all your stuff tick. Urnight needs it so much, and Urnight is what makes this deck quickly kill people. You really just have to have the core. So we are going to run 3. I've tried it with less. It does not work. We're also running 2 of this, Koa'ki Meiru Initialize. It's kind of, think of it like a Gemini Spark for your Koa'ki Meirus, even though it doesn't destroy a card or draw you something per se. Basically, it's when they try to pop your Koa'ki Meiru or you can't pay the maintenance cost, you pop it with this to turn it into an Iron Core. It thins your deck, gets you something you're going to be able to use later to maybe try to make a comeback, because your deck doesn't care about monster size, I mean with Urnight and stuff, so. And I've been having a lot of success with 3 core and 2 Initialize. And the thing that makes puts the OTK in OTK is Core Overclock. It's an awesome spell. It's just a continuous spell that gives a blanket 500 extra attack to all your Koa'ki Meirus, and if you discard the core from your hand, it gives them an additional 1,000 for the rest of the turn. So you're looking at 1,500 point bonus to every single monster in your field, basically. And when you factor in guys like Bergzok who can attack multiple times, it gets pretty ridiculous. We are running Reinforcement of the Army. The only target is Bergzok, but there are only 4 warriors in the deck. So this helps make sure you get him, thins your deck out, pay maintenance costs, so on and so forth. So we're also running Monster Reborn. It's also your only method to possibly pick up a tuner. But, you know, feel free to use it on your own stuff to make an OTK. Dark Hole, obvious. We run a lot of MT destruction because back rows are your #1 fear. Monsters matter very little in this deck. Opposition, really, you just run it over. So Giant Trunade, Cold Wave, 2 copies of MST, 1 copy of Nobleman of Extermination. Good to hit Bottomless with that. You don't care if you lose Bottomless because it's accelerating your deck and keeping you from getting hit by it. It's worse to get hit by it than it is bad for your opponent to get hit by it in this deck. So, Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole, Solemn Judgment to help make your OTK stick, and Call of the Haunted, a great way to bring your Koa'ki Meirus back if they say die to their maintenance cost or something like that. Just have this set, and then when your opponent tries to attack or at their end phase or whatever, flip, call it back. It's also a great way to abuse Volifar. Okay, that's the main deck. And the extra deck is basically, the synchros are just in case you steal something from your opponent with Monster Reborn. So it's a big toolbox. Mistborn, Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Infernity Doom Dragon, Thought Ruler Arcfiend, Black Rose Dragon, Scrap Arcfiend, Blackwing Armor Master, because you could steal a Blackwing Tuner, of course, X-Saber Urbellum, Goya Guardian, Bryanak Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Ally of Justice Cataster, X-Saber Wayne, because you could theoretically dump a Bergzak onto the field with this guy, and 1 copy of Chimeratech Fortress Dragon on the off chance somebody actually leaves a Cyber Dragon and more machines on the field. You can suck them up with this, obviously. Alright. And that is the deck, and until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.